What's up, guys? Welcome to the latest video. Here I'm going to introduce you to my 20-week power building program designed to take your strength and physique to the next level. This program is split into two 5-week hypertrophy blocks followed by a strength block and a powerlifting block. So this is good for beginners, intermediates, and advanced lifters. The program is in the description below if you want to download that right away. If you have any questions, leave a comment or email me. Email's in the description below. And here we go. I'll get into it now. What's up, guys? Okay, so this is the 20-week program I wrote for you. No charge. Most comprehensive program I've made so far. And yeah, it's just for you. It's a power building program broken down into 4 blocks. There's 2 hypertrophy blocks here, a strength block, and then a power block. Now the way this is set up, it's going to get you acclimated to higher work capacity, higher volume. In the beginning, you're going to build a lot more muscle, and by the 3rd block, you'll be building a lot more dense general strength. And the 4th block, you're going to specialize into the bench, squat, and deadlift and get much stronger at those static movements. This program is good for beginners, intermediates, and more elite lifters. I would say that especially intermediates and advanced lifters are going to benefit from this because intermediate lifters tend to start plateauing more, and advanced lifters will plateau a lot more if they're not taking into account specific variables. This is good for beginners because a lot of programs really don't go into this much detail and structure, especially free programs. A lot of times you got to pay a lot of money for more in-depth programs like this. This is not a custom program. This is more made for someone like me who likes power building. I like to build muscle and strength at the same time. I don't like to go extreme on bodybuilding, and I don't like to go extreme on powerlifting. This is for general fitness. I like how it makes me look. I like how strong I get. I like to be somewhere in between, and I'm sure most people like that as well. I'm not competitive. I don't do anything like that, so this will hit a general audience. You could be male or female, doesn't matter. Now, let's get into this a little bit more. So as you can see, this page here will be your roadmap. You don't have to use this every day. This just gives you an idea of what to look forward to in the future. This first part here will tell you about the volume, the intensity, and what you're doing, what that goal is for that week. So week 1, phase 1, hypertrophy, RPE 6 to 7. It's going to be high volume. Next is RP 7 high volume, 7 to 8 high volume, and then week 4 you're going to attempt a 10 rep max. And this is going to be really tough. So this week is going to be kind of like the crucible or the gauntlet. And week 1 is going to be pretty easy. I want you to take these seriously because the reason the first week of each block is easy is to help assist you from transitioning from your deadlift, which is going to be really easy. And I really want you to focus on technique, form, breathing, recovering from any nagging injuries or just pains or whatever you have. Take this week seriously. Do not let your ego get the best of you. Stay humble. Focus on your technique. And then the first week back into the next phase, start to take it a little more seriously again. Increase the weight a little bit. Don't go crazy. You can start using your belt, your straps, everything like that. On the Deloads, I like to get rid of that stuff. I like to get rid of the straps, the belt, all that, and just kind of cool down. I don't take pre-workout on my Deloads. You can take pre-workout the rest of the time, though. Just kind of come back down to earth and recover and just humble yourself again. So the first block is going to be lower, upper, lower for the first half, and then it's going to go 5 days a week. It does change quite a bit to keep the variety high so it's not boring and so you have adequate stimulus, but it's also close enough. See, this week we have deads, and the next one we have hip thrust. It's hitting the same muscles, it's just doing it differently, and that's what I really like about this program. It's not boring, it's fun, and you're getting stronger at the same stuff, but in different ways. So it's kind of exciting. And I also like how it's this long marathon approach, so you can see what you're gonna do, and you kind of have everything laid out for you. You don't really have to think that much, but every time you go in, you kind of feel like you're just winging it and having fun at the same time. All right, so the next block, it's going to be a push-pull legs, upper lower. So the volume is going to start to go up. And that's what you can kind of see here, how it laid it out, like how much the volume is going to be. The first hypertrophy block is going to be high volume. The second hypertrophy block is going to be a little bit higher and a little bit more of a bodybuilder type thing. The third block, strength. So the volume is going to go down to about medium. It's going to lower the volume. The rep range is going to be about 5 to 8, instead of like 10 to 15, which was up here. And the volume's going down, and you're only going to be working out 4 days a week. The reason this is because as you start increasing the weight, the intensity, you're going to focus a little bit more on strength. So this is going to be like general strength. You will build a little bit of muscle here, but not nearly as much as up here. What you're going to do is build a lot more strength. You need more recovery for that, and we're going to be doing more compound movements here. There was a little bit more isolation movements up here. Lastly, this power phase, you're going to be doing explosive movements like plyometric push-ups, box jumps, broad jumps. You're going to be doing fewer exercises, 3 to 5 exercises, and you're going to be doing like triples, doubles, and singles at a very heavy weight. So that's all done. This page is done. Next page, tracking sheet. This is going to be your initial maxes. If you don't know what they are, that's okay. You can attempt your maxes before you get into your program here. Now be smart about that. I would only do maybe 1 or 2 maxes in a single day, and don't do this, like say, I wouldn't do a back squat max and then a deadlift max the same day. I would do maybe a back squat and then a bench press, take a couple days off, and then maybe do like a deadlift and an overhead press. And that might even be pretty close too. And I would alternate the rep ranges too. Like you could do a back squat at a 10 rep max and then a bench press at a 1 rep. And then that's if you don't know them at all. Or you could use strengthlevel.com. I'll link that in the description as well. Again, this program is for free. You can download it in the description below. It's on Google Drive. Okay, next. So week 4. This is going to be your first max out week. You're going to be doing 10 rep maxes. All of the exercises are going to be here. I want you to record the weight that you get here. That's just so you know for the future what you hit for that 10 reps. This is for the second hypertrophy block. It's going to be 10 rep maxes on these exercises. The strength, 5 rep maxes on these. And then lastly, power week 19. It's going to be your 1 rep max, your new PR, 1 rep max, back squat, bench press, and deadlift. This is the program. So I always include a warm-up. This is similar to the warm-up I use. You don't have to do this. I like these because it gets you ready for what you're going to do for the day. So 90-90 breathing, that's going to really retrain you on how to brace properly. It's going to warm your core up, which is great if you're doing squats or deadlifts. Bird dogs, dead bugs, these are excellent static isolation core workouts, exercises. Goblet squats, get the legs warmed up for the squats. Walking toe touches, that's a dynamic stretch. Warm-up sets, again, you don't have to follow this exactly to the T. You can do whatever warm-up works for you. But this is a really good general guideline. And it's going to be a lot of fun to go through this. So 10 reps, RPE 6 to 7. Next, upper body. Just ripping right through these workouts. If you have any questions about any of these exercises, feel free to comment or send me an email The email will be in the description below as well. Yeah, and here we go. Week 4. Let's go to that. So that's going to be your max out. See here, that'll be 3 to 4 warm up, 10 reps max. As you can see here, it's the first set is going to be this RPE 10. And then it says 1/2, the second set is going to be the RPE 7. Does that make sense? I know it's kind of confusing. The 1 is the first set, and then the 2 are the next 2 sets. And then here, the 10 is the first set, and then the 7 is the next 2 sets. And they're both going to be 10 reps. For back squats, warm up to a 10 rep max, RPE 10, and the remaining sets will be RPE 7. So that's what I want you to do for every max out day, unless it does not say that. So for here, pull-ups, 3 sets of 10, go to failure on every single one. That's okay. That's a safe movement. Hip thrust, that might be pretty taxing on your hips. You could go to 10 on every one, but I feel like it wouldn't be worth it. Just do 10 on the first one, RPE 10 on the first one, and then RPE 7 on the next 2. Those are going to be back off sets. Barbell bench press, same thing. Max out your first one, and then 2 back off sets of RPE 7. This is the theme it's going to follow the whole way through. So this is your next hypertrophy block. The exercises will change from week to week and from block to block. So you have a ton of variety. And then we'll go to strength. Where's that? Here's strength. So, well, what is this? Week 11. So this is the first week. Back squats, you're going to do 3 sets of 5, RPE 6 to 7. Take this seriously. You do not need to go to failure on your first week. I want you to take this seriously. Have 4 to 3 reps in reserve. So if it says RPE 6, that's a 6 out of 10. Rating of perceived exertion. That's what RPE stands for. RIR stands for reps in reserve. So an RPE of 6 could roughly translate to a reps in reserve of 4, because 6 out of 10, there's 4 missing. So there's about 4 reps inside that you could do, but you're saving. So that's what that means. So as you can see, as the weeks go on, now it's 7. And then the one after that, now it's 8. So you're getting closer and closer to failure until the peak week, 10. Now you've trained your body to get used to the weight creeping up. And then this last week, you're just dumping it all out putting it all out on the table. And then the week after that, you dial it back. You recover. Focus on your technique. This way, you will destroy plateaus. With all this variety, all these different rep schemes, paced at the right time, I put it at 4 to 5 weeks. That's when most people are going to be able to adapt enough where they don't plateau, but they have enough stimulus to grow. And then you switch to a similar thing that's not too different, where you're just throwing novelty at yourself all the time. You're not really growing. It's similar enough where you can continue to get better at it, but it's different enough where you have a new stimulus to grow. That's the name of the game. All right. Strength continues. I think I should have switched this to power. It still says strength. Yeah, this is going to be power. Once you start to get into the 2s for reps and 3s on the compounds, that's power. As you can see, we're doing back squat, heavy back squats, and then lighter, higher rep bench press, just to keep some of that muscle mass there. And then we're cranking the strength up. Increasing specificity. We're doing more specific exercises for exactly what we're trying to get better at. So the back squat, we're going to do some broad jumps for explosiveness in the hips and quads. We're doing bench press to get technique better, practice it, and then plyo push-ups for explosiveness and reaction in the chest and the tendons in the chest. We're building up that plyometric reaction. Barbell bench press, 1 rep. Yep, as you can see, it goes all the way through. And week 19, you're going to max out. Deadlift, bench press, and you can see you only do one max on the powers. So last 3 days of the program, you're only going to max one thing for each day. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Please feel free to ask me any questions you have about this program. Leave comments, reach out to me on email. I'm going to be releasing more meal plans as well to go along with this program. I'll be releasing more programs, more videos to come. So there you go. Now, the reason you would want to run this program is to be more consistent, more goal-oriented, having accountability for yourself. When you see these RPEs and weights you have to hit, you know that you have to go in there and you have to make it happen. You have to keep your ego in check. You don't go too hard. You don't go too light. So I find it makes me more accountable for myself. You have more variety, and in a good way. So you're not just going in and throwing whatever you feel like doing that day at yourself. You have structured variety where it doesn't get boring, but you know you're taking steps towards something. Also, it helps you avoid injury. If you go in and wing it all the time, you don't really have any system in place to get stronger at the right pace with the right technique and avoid all of that added fatigue and reduced recovery. You might feel like you're doing okay with that, but with this program or a program like this, you know for sure that you're taking steps, and if you're making the progress you're supposed to be making and recovering how you're supposed to be recovering. So overall, a structured program like this has many benefits, can help you achieve your fitness goals more efficiently and effectively. Following a program like this that's tailored more to your needs, so you can customize this a little bit more for yourself. It isn't a custom program, but you can take this program that's structured and more for a general audience and tailor it down to what you need. So feel free to do that. You can stay on track, make progress, avoid injury, and it can make your fitness journey more enjoyable and fun. So stay tuned for other videos.